Welcome back to the Wavecast. This is your host Hayes. Joining me as always is Dallas.
Hello.
There he is. Today we are going
There I
to...
be.
What was that?
Said there I be.
There she is.
Whoa, racist.
Well, today we are going to talk about modern gaming and just gaming in general. And I'm going to let Dallas take the lead on this one because it's a topic he's been wanting to talk about for quite a while.
Yeah, Hayes has never played a video game in his life, so
Nah, never.
he has no idea what's going on. Remember, Angry Birds doesn't count.
Damn it. Well, all right, well, I'm out of here.
All right, see you later, man. No, but like, I don't know. I feel like, both of us have been gaming for like all of our lives, essentially. Like, I feel like it's a very big hobby of both of ours and a lot of people out there. And I feel like gaming sucks ass now compared to what it used to be. I feel like every single game almost is now an early access game, just so they can slap it out there and like have an unfinished product. And you like, it's fine for like indie games, that have small budgets and they're working on it and they're updating it throughout the months and years. And eventually you will get that finished product. Like that's fine. But these AAA games that are coming out that are unfinished and they're released at full price is insane. Like the amount of games that just blow ass from AAA studios is crazy. Like I don't know of a single good game that came out this year that was from a AAA studio that I was like actually like, wow, this is cool. This is like something I actually want to invest time and money in. Like, can you think of any like off the top of your head right now that you were like genuinely excited for this year?
Only thing would be some console games like Spider-Man PS5 and...
Okay, that's fair.
This one came out last year, but God of War Ragnarok, but it had its DLC that came out just in December.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other game I could think of being really excited for was Jedi Survivor. But other games that I've like traditionally been into, like COD and Rainbow Six Siege, which I know isn't new, but I just have not been like interested in those games anymore.
Yeah, like it's just so many of them either release in such a terrible state at launch that they're unplayable, on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, or maybe all of them. Like one launch, like they suck ass, and it's fine to have like your servers be overloaded and down for like a little bit and having connection issues. That's normal, but like when you can't even run the damn game and it's crashing all the time and you have like a good PC or just, the PS5 or Xbox X, like that's just not acceptable from a AAA studio that has millions of dollars invested into a game. And, and they're charging $70 just for the base game now. Like they're increasing the prices and decreasing the enjoyment of the game, essentially. So many games are just not good now. Like, I know you said Jedi Survivor was one that you're really interested in this year. And like that launched horribly on PC. Like it was unplayable for months.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was playing it, it was choppy and wasn't the greatest visually, and I just wanted to play it to get the story over with so I didn't get spoiled, but I haven't played it since.
Yeah, and like I played it last month, picked it up on sale, and like it definitely ran better, but I still crashed at least one time, and I still had some frame rate issues. But it's been improving, but it's like it should not have released in the state it was.
No, I agree with you. Like what you said earlier, most games are released in early access or unfinished, and one of the big ones right now I can think of is Cyberpunk. I didn't even play it, but from everything I've heard, it was terrible at launch.
Like you couldn't even run the game. It was so poorly optimized. I don't even know if you could say there was optimization to begin with that game. It was just like a joke, honestly, considering like what they promised and then what they released is awful. Granted, now they've fixed a lot of it, and it's a pretty cool game. But I feel like it's not acceptable to be releasing that type of product when you're marketing it as a AAA game and your full price release. Like, why not just say, hey, we need a layer game? Like, that's fine. I'd rather have a delayed game for another X amount of months or even a year or so and have a good first impression when I play that game versus, wow, this is dog shit. I want my money back.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. I would say the same thing. I would rather wait a little longer for a finished and polished game than just get it released here and now to satisfy the impatient people. Because like the build-up is part of it for me, and if you have to wait a little longer for them to be like, we really want it to be perfect for you guys and want you to be satisfied with it, like, I'll wait. Like I'll wait a little extra time. I don't care. But I don't want to just like throw random stuff out that's half baked and to say, "Oh, we're gonna update it as we go."
Right. Incomplete and just a mess.
Yeah, like I'd rather they have a full game and just wait a little longer than early access shit.
Yeah, it's and I understand that like a lot of the devs don't have control when you're under these big publishers, and the publishers are forcing them to, you know, rush it and get that product out there. So like I get that. Like I'm not blaming the devs completely, but from even a publishing standpoint, like how can you not sit back and look and say, "Hey, this actually is probably going to lose us money, or it's not going to gain us the amount of money that we could be making if we just simply wait and let this product be finished." You know, because like you're tainting not only your name, but like you're running it for the player base and the fans, and saying, "All right, I'm not buying the sequel to this game," or "I'm refunding this game now," you know, and I'm not coming back to it ever, or they're just gonna pirate it, you know, whenever they finally finish the product.
Yeah, it kind of just hurts their reputation. The people are just too impatient nowadays and want shit now. And I think the publishers are just bending their knee to them like, well, we said it would be out ready to release by December. Oh, it's not ready? Well, we could just push it back to March, or maybe we can release it now and just update it as we go.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just remember back in the day, like, you know, when a game launched, it launched. Like it was complete. It had a full game. It wasn't buggy. It wasn't crashing all the time. Like, yeah, sure, you'd run into some small minor things, but like it was nothing serious. It wasn't making it to where the games were unplayable. But like now, you like I swear every launch is just like, yeah, might as well wait a couple months.
Yeah, or if the game was kind of buggy, it was fun, like with PUBG. And even that was like an early access game from a smaller publisher,
Yeah.
but people knew that when they were playing it, and that was part of its charm. Now it's a fully released game, it doesn't have all those bugs anymore.
Oh yeah, and then to like also like make things worse, these games that are releasing at full price, you know, $70, also have like so many microtransactions in them and like these battle passes, and it's just like you don't even have a complete game. It's like, all right, here's $70 for the base game. And then if you really want to unlock all the content, here's like another $20 that you know you need to spend on like battle passes and maybe like some limited edition like skins or shit. And it's like, but why? Like it's a full price game. Why are these in here? Like I understand it for free to play games because it's how they make their money, and it's completely acceptable. But like if I'm paying $70, why do I have to continue to pay money to continue to unlock content? Like why can't I just play the game and unlock it through playing? It's just it's trash. Like Call of Duty is absolutely awful. Like every single like Call of Duty is just riddled with these like stupid ass skins, like that actually give you advantage too. Like some of them like they hide you super well. Some of the like weapons that they add, they actually like have an advantage over the default guns based on the stats they give. Like it's just it's stupid. Like it's pay to win. And I don't understand it now. Like it's just taking the fun out of gaming.
I agree with all that too. I had that as well. Like games like COD and Siege, although I'm sure there are others out there, but those are the two I'm most familiar with. Some of those skins you unlock give you like an advantage because they blend in with the map better. And yeah, the gun blueprints, they might give you an advantage over the base guns.
Mm-hmm.
I get it's kind of annoying from that aspect, but also they're so grindy where like you have to, if you wanted to do both battle passes, you would have to play both games for like 5 hours a day every day.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like you know, people have jobs, they have school, you know, they have other responsibilities outside of gaming, you know, that they can't just dedicate all this time. So you're pretty much forced to like say, okay, this is the only game I'm gonna play for the next, you know, 2 months or 3 months. Because I bought the battle pass, so you know, I want to get my money's worth and complete it. So I'm just gonna have to, you know, grind this game every day. And then like I feel like that sucks because I feel like it shouldn't be that way. I understand, you know, it's the skins and stuff, so like, you know, it's not a huge deal, but like, I don't know. I feel like great games are very grindy now, and I feel like they kind of lock you into like one, maybe two games, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I feel like that's
And
pretty much their objective.
right, which you know, I get it. They want to keep their player base playing and spending money on them, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of become too much. Like I'm fine with battle passes being in games if they keep them simple and not like, you know, oh, you better play me 5 hours a day. You're never getting this complete type shit. I really dislike games that do that. simple battle passes that you can complete in like no time whatsoever, that's completely fine. But these grindy games where they like force you to continuously like no life them is insane. Which then I think kind of in turn takes you back to the, well, I won't complete this, so now I'm just going to spend more money and complete it by paying.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of guilty of that. Like, just this year, I haven't really played Rainbow Six Siege in like 9 months or so, probably.
Yeah, I think the last time I played that was with you. So
Yeah, and like I played a little bit here and there, and the only reason I was playing was to complete the battle pass. And the only reason I was doing that is because I bought the year pass instead of like individual seasons.
yep.
Because I was, still playing heavily like 12 months ago, but then I stopped after that. So, and I think I spent like maybe $30 to complete the pass because I was like, well, I paid for it already, and I want to get my most out of it, so I'm just gonna fucking finish it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it for this next season. I'm pretty much done with that game, I think.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you. Like, you feel guilty. Like, you spent money and now you're like, well, I already spent some money. Might as well spend a bit more and, get the content.
Yeah, finish the set.
Which, like, you never had that issue. Like, back in the old Call of Duties or, like, older games, like, it was just play and
Grind and
unlock.
prestige and unlock stuff.
Right. And, like, you could just get that by playing the game, Well, those weapon camos weren't going anywhere. Those titles and emblems, all that was always in the game. And you could get it just by playing whenever you wanted to. But now it's like, oh, FOMO events and all this stuff where it's like time limited, You only have 2 months to get this one skin. Better hurry.
Yeah, I have an example of a game that has a battle pass, but it's not like super grindy like you were explaining, and that's Marvel Snap. I play that game probably daily, but it doesn't feel grindy. The battle pass is only 50 levels, and if you do like the weekly challenges and shit, you can pretty much get through without having to grind all fucking day.
Right. And that's also a free to play game. So, like, it's okay to have some microtransactions in that. Granted, I also think a lot of free to play games kind of have the prices a little too much on their currencies.
Well, that's the thing though. You don't have to buy like the currencies in that game because you can gain it in other ways. You don't have to spend
Right.
real money to get the in-game currency. You can just you can buy gold with real money to get like card skins and shit. But I personally have never bought any of it because it didn't feel necessary with other like things in the game. Everything I have in the game was like earned through progressing the collection levels or challenges. So I don't know. The game just seems like it does very well, and none of it offers a competitive advantage. And yeah, it's free, so it makes sense to the game to have that stuff.
Yeah,
But like with other
definitely.
games like COD or Siege, it's like you're buying the $60 base game and another $20 for the battle pass every season, which is like
Right. I
what, every
definitely
2 to 3 months.
definitely agree that AAA full price games should not have these microtransactions like they have. Like, they're not free to play. If you're gonna do that, then become free to play. Like what Halo did. Halo was free to play. They have microtransactions. Like, okay, that's acceptable. Granted, Halo's is way too overpriced and don't support that bullshit. But like, at least they compensated or said, hey, if we want to have this in the game, let's make it free to play. They didn't just go pay $70 and eat shit and pay more money.
Yeah, most of those like with COD, I think maybe after a while you can like purchase the stuff in the battle pass outright. Is that right? I don't even know.
Well, I'm pretty sure like every battle pass you can always just purchase the extra
No, I mean
levels.
like you can go to the store and get individual items from the battle pass after a certain amount of
Oh.
time, like a couple of months, can't you?
Yeah, I know a lot of games will cycle the content back into the store eventually, but not every game does that. Like Fortnite doesn't. Anything in the battle pass in Fortnite you'll never see again.
Yeah, like it's exclusive.
Yeah, like they'll never ever be in the store, which I think is stupid personally because they're just losing out on money.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But to go back to Marvel Snap for a second, I was gonna say that there's like if you progress through the collection levels and a bunch of other shit that I'm not gonna get into all right now, but you can get the same stuff from the battle pass through other channels within the game, so you don't feel like you have to buy the battle pass if you want to get everything. You'll get it eventually,
Right.
which I like as opposed to something like COD or Fortnite where it's like you have to purchase the battle pass or it's gone forever.
Yeah. I mean, like, I will say though about Fortnite, I think they do have the best battle pass system, which is $10, and then you get that currency back and a little bit extra, so you literally can buy another battle pass for free, and then you can just keep going. It's like you can just buy one battle pass, and then as long as you get to the last coin that gives you the 1,000 or however much it costs in game currency, you can forever just have free battle passes, which I think is a huge positive.
That is nice, yeah.
But I feel like I'm pretty sure like COD hardly ever gives you any currency back from the little bit I played of Modern Warfare
I
2
think you
back.
get like
You
half
get
of it
like what?
back.
Yeah, half or like 60% of it back, maybe. Like it was garbage, and it was slow too. Like that battle pass was awful.
I think Siege is the same way, where like if you spend $20 on a battle pass, you'll get like $10 worth of credits back. So you have to spend another $10 to get the next battle pass. It's a cycle.
Yeah, it's not the full amount. It's like a fraction of it, just to tempt you. Well, I already got part of the currency. Might as well go ahead and spend that, $5 or $10 and finish it and get the new one. I don't know. I feel like it's just gaming's more of a chore now for a lot of these newer games compared to just a passive like fun time.
100% agree. And also, it's just that the industry itself is so saturated. Like, there's a new game every week, I feel like, that people are raving about. And then they forget about after a month because there's another new game that comes out and grabs their attention.
Definitely, like there's just so many games, which is cool. That's awesome. Like I'm glad the gaming industry is booming, but like there's also downsides from that. Of like you said, so many games get released and then they just get dropped with support. They don't get updated. They don't get completed, or they don't meet the promises that the devs and publishers said that they would, and then they drop them and move on, which is really unfortunate. Like I think is really crappy too.
I mean, I think that's kind of why right now, especially, but pretty much for as long as I've been gaming, I've really enjoyed single player and some more like open world ish games because there's stuff to do that's like preset that you don't have to wait for an update or anything like that. And, once you have it, it's pretty much it.
Right. Like you have kind of your product whenever like Star Wars, like they didn't really do anything else. Like they didn't add new content. Like it was all there. Granted, it was hard to access that content because of how poorly of a polished state it was released in, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but also it's like one story or one simple idea where you can just keep playing it over and over and over. Like with other games that are multiplayer that like come and go, it's like, oh well, devs stopped caring about it or adding new stuff, so I guess we're done with that.
Well, it's like COD, like every single year, even when they promise, like with Modern Warfare 2, like they said that was going to be a 2-year game. That was a fucking lie. Modern Warfare 3 next year, baby, which is literally just a DLC and content that should have been released in Modern Warfare 2.
I didn't even
Full
pick it up
price.
this year.
No, I didn't either. Like, and then that's another issue. Is like all these stupid people. They're like, oh yeah, let's buy this, and then it's like they're just promoting this garbage. I don't know, I feel like it's not that hard to see. That was just like the biggest scam ever. Like they literally said 2-year cycle. We'll have a bigger update, next year when we would have released another COD, and then they just went back on their word and released the fucking DLC for $70.
I feel like that's actually borderline scam.
Like it's just stupid. But then people eat it up and they're like, "Yeah, gotta buy it." Like, okay, let's not feed into this garbage, because then more people and publishers and game companies are gonna start doing that shit where they just completely go back on their word. Yeah, it's stupid. And then like the Rockstar, like they what was it, CEO or some dumbass said that people should play by the hour to play games now.
That's dumb.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even own the game. You would play by the hour.
You'd like rent it essentially.
Yeah, like absolutely not. Like you seriously think a single person's gonna do that?
That's how you kill your game faster than anyone else in history.
100%. And then like the only people that would play it is people that are gonna pirate it, and like 100%, I would support that. Like go pirate that game if you're gonna charge by the hour. Like
I don't know if I'd go that far
that's
personally.
insane.
I just want to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid. Like majority of people won't, and then the only people that would are gonna be the people that pirate it. I don't know. I feel like the gaming world is kind of going downhill with all these stupid ideas, and I feel like all these companies are trying to jump in and just trying to milk it with the money, and I feel like it's kind of running it a little bit.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I just haven't really been interested in many games recently. I've been playing a lot of old games, or the games that I am interested in are mostly single player. So, yeah, I don't know how they can support a multiplayer model that people are actually going to be okay with moving forward.
Yeah, I feel like all the kind of newer games people aren't sticking with, and I feel like people aren't as hyped for. I feel like I see people just kind of sticking to older games that have kind of live updates, such as like League, Smite, DBD, even older Call of Duty games that not even getting updated, and like older Halo games. Like I see people playing those more than newer games.
I think they do have a degree of like nostalgia attached to them too, where people are like, "Oh, these remind me of good times, so I'm just gonna go play that again," as opposed to like what we're getting now, which I do too. I feel as well to a degree, but I think that also goes back to what I said earlier. It's just so saturated right now. Like, there's 1,000 games released every month. Like the hot one right now is what, Lethal Company, and a little bit before that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, and before that I don't even know, but just feel like every month or two a new game comes out and rotates in, and people just aren't retaining as much from the previous game that they were on.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that saturation's there, but I mean that's to be expected, I guess, in this day and age with how, I guess maybe not easily, but how readily available you can make a game. Like Lethal Company, like you said, that's made by, I'm pretty sure, one or two people, and it's actually a more well-made game than a lot of these AAA games that have millions to potential billion-dollar backings.
Just because they're dedicated and passionate about it.
Yep.
Most of these AAA studios are just pushing out the same slop they've been pushing out because they have a corporate mandate to.
Yeah, and I think it fucking sucks. Like, really makes the games like just not what they could have been.
We need more devs that care about their games than just people working for a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of them do care. Like, a lot of them try, they go out and express that, like, hey, this isn't our fault. We were like pushed to do this. We didn't have a choice. And if we didn't do it, we were getting replaced by another team that would. So it's like either we do it and get paid and, can try to keep up with this content, try to give you what we promise versus another team doing it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really mean the developers. I meant more the publishers. Like, all they care about is money by pushing new game, new game, new game, where the developers do care, but they're in these contracts with big companies who want you to push it out when they want it to be out. But games like Lethal Company, they can take their time and listen to the community more than like a big corporation would.
Exactly. Like they actually have communication and they take that and work with it.
I just think more devs need to go independent, which I know probably isn't financially viable for a lot of them, but I just think it would make it a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely hard, I guess, depending on what you're trying to make. Like a Lethal Company, I can see because it's not graphically intensive, it's not story bound or anything crazy like that. But I guess if you're trying to make like a bigger game, like you almost kind of need that money because it's so expensive. But
Well, yes and no. I mean, look at PUBG. That started out as just a guy who was a modder for DayZ or whatever it was. Then he made PUBG based off of that, and now he's his own company. And PUBG is, I'd say, still one of more of the popular ones, but maybe not the most popular with like Apex and Fortnite. But it's still up there. It hasn't
yeah.
completely lost everything. And there's like a pro league and PUBG Mobile,
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
the Chinese market for that game is very, very.
Yeah, like it's not impossible to do on your own. It's just I think you have to be willing to take that risk and know that maybe it won't turn out successful before moving on to the next thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely hard, but I do agree. Like these publishers, kind of, I feel like, are screwing the games over more than helping.
Yeah, I mean they just care about money. That's every business, though. I mean, it just hurts the industry when that's all they care about.
Yeah, and
but
the
you
thing
look
is,
at like, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go.
No, please go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like they're gonna make that money anyway, so they're kind of just shooting themselves in the foot by like releasing unfinished products.
Right. I was gonna say if you look at old games like Mario, fucking Mario is so simple, but they like actually cared about making breakthrough games. Like they went from 8-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit, 64, etc. Like they were making technological advances, but now it's just more of the same from a different company with a different skin on it.
Yeah, it's definitely just kind of a how much money can we make off this product? Move on, create the sequel, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
But like, I guess it kind of moves us on to the next point of the rinse repeat of the. I feel like a big thing that's pretty popular is open world games. And I feel like most of them are kind of copy and paste garbage. Like I feel like they're all the same giant open world map to wow everyone in, and then you get into that game and it's just empty. Like feels barren. Like it feels like a walking simulator game. I feel like almost all of the open world games I played within the last like 5 years are all the same. Like the only like two that I can kind of think of that actually felt nice were Red Dead 2, which I know that was released more than 5 years ago, but
It's only 6, I think.
I felt like that actually felt like it had life in it and like it was worth exploring because of the random stuff that could pop up. But even then, at times, it felt like a walking sim and it felt kind of empty in certain areas. And I feel like Jedi Survivor handled their open world pretty good because it was open, but it was restricted open, and I think that felt really nice because it didn't feel like you were just forced to run everywhere for like 10 minutes. Like it was pretty to the point.
What are some examples of open world games you think are like that? I'm just curious.
All the new Assassin's Creed games, like all of them are terrible. Like Odyssey, um, Origins, Valhalla. Literally, what is the point of the open world in those games now? Like they're so empty. Like you just get in them and it feels like, all right, let's go to this point B over here, and it's just 5 minutes of walking there and nothing happens at all. Like in the entire way. Like maybe you see like a wild animal or some random like side quest that you stumble upon that just ends up being the same copy and paste side quest of save this person, go fetch me this item. Here's a secret stash location. And it's just all the same. And it's cool for the first like hour or two, and then after that, it's like, wow, this is incredibly repetitive and really boring.
Yeah. Any others? I'm just curious because I have a few examples of more single player open worldish games that I like and dislike. So just curious what you think.
Yeah, and it's not to say that they're bad games. It's just like I feel like they're so boring now. Like there's just nothing going on in them when you have these giant open world games compared to like the old GTAs where like you had like random havoc and it wasn't forever to get across the maps. Traveling was simple, it was fast. Random goofy stuff would happen with you hitting an object and flying through the air or stuff like that. And now it's just like 10 minutes to get to halfway across the map. You got to go selling for 20 minutes in the Assassin's Creed to go get to this mission. And it's just, I feel like it's so boring. It feels like a chore almost to play some of the missions in those games because of how long it actually takes to get to them. And like even the new Avatar game that came out, pretty game. It looks nice. Same copy and paste that Ubisoft does. Just giant open world, nothing really going on. Like I guess the better way to put it is like the worlds feel lifeless. Like you're supposed to be immersed into these like games, but the immersion feels not there at all.
I guess I would agree with that because I have a couple examples, but I think one, it depends on the person. Like, I know some people who like those kinds of games where the whole goal is basically just explore and stumble upon stuff, which I get to an extent. But two, I think like the narrative of the game matters. Like, if you have a good narrative while you're exploring the world too, and it really draws you in, then I think it's a really good game. And a really good example for that for me would be the two newer God of War games. I think they're great because if you have a great narrative happening, and yes, while you just stumble upon something and have to do a side quest occasionally, it's not like so open where you could walk around a field for hours without finding anything. It has like a path where you can follow and find stuff along the way while expanding on the lore along the way.
Right. The linear kind of open world games are great.
Those are great, yeah. And I recently started playing The Witcher 3 because I picked it up for like $5. Honestly, I like it so far. I just got done with the prologue area and got to the first castle with like the emperor, whatever his name is. And I just feel like I'm gonna get kind of overwhelmed though. I looked at like some of the maps and it just opened up to me and like it looks like there's a ton of shit to do.
You are. But I'm glad you actually brought that game up. That is a perfect example of how I feel like open world games, like true open world games, should be handled. Like I'm not trying to spoil anything for that game, but like a lot of your side quests you do actually feel like main missions because of the story and lore that they add to the game. And some of them even kind of tie into main missions. They add a little extra flair to it. I'm not gonna
like directly impact, or
not
you
directly
just have
impact,
like extra knowledge.
Yeah, you have the knowledge going in, like a little bit of something you wouldn't have had if you didn't do those side quests.
Which I'm totally down for. I love doing side quests like that. I just looked at the scale of the maps and I'm like, it looks like there's a fuck ton of shit to
Oh yeah,
do.
it is overwhelming, but it's a perfect example of how games should handle it. Like the side quests actually feel important, they feel rewarding, and they're fun to do, and they're not repetitive. Like sure, maybe there's like a couple that are like kind of the same, but they're all unique in their own sense, which is really what kept me interesting and or interested in that game and kept me like pushing through all the side quests and main missions was how interesting they actually were. And it was really neat because it added to the game and expanded the game. Versus these newer open world games, these side quests are just like, yeah, go fetch me this item, run halfway across the map, then bring me back the item, and then here's some gold. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I don't like fetch quests like
It's
that.
yeah, and or it's yeah, here's this secret stash. Go loot it and get some items. Go there, get like a new sword, whatever. Okay, cool.
And it probably sucks.
Yeah, and it's probably worse than what you got, but whatever. Oh, hey, go save this person. Why am I saving them? Oh, they're my friend.
I'm your friend.
They're being mistreated. Okay, save them. Thanks. Here's some gold and here's a bow or something. It feels very random and it feels like you're this kind of vigilante hero that's just saving people to save them.
It's like the reward does not outweigh the effort.
Yeah, literally. Like there is no point of going to do like 70% of the new side quests because they're all copy and pasted. They don't add anything to the game. They don't expand the lore. They don't really do anything. They don't add anything other than here's some extra hours you can dump in this game. Like you might as well just rush the main story quest down and then just be done with the game.
That's what I kind of like about the God of War games too, is that there isn't weapons and like armor to find like that. It's mostly just materials and resources to upgrade your shit and make you feel more powerful, as opposed to like, here, go do this task and we'll give you something that's probably worse than what you already have.
Yeah, give me a reason to go do these side quests. Give me like something that's not just copy and pasted, just nonsense. Like Witcher did a perfect job of that.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep playing that one. I do like it so far. It just seems like there's a lot of stuff to do, so might take me a
Well, there
while to
definitely
finish
is.
it.
But it's an incredible game.
Well, I was gonna bring up one more game for this point. The Borderlands series. I love all of those games, which are kind of open worldy, I guess. I do feel like they can be kind of grindy at times with fetch quests, but the thing with those games is they're comedic and there's like so much uniqueness with the weapons and gear. So like no one playthrough ever feels the same. So I always go back to them at some point or another.
Right, like you can find some random like silly gun that blows up in your hand after you reload it or something that you get from a side quest. Like that's fine. The entire thing about the Borderlands games is about the gameplay. You know, I feel like that's kind of why everyone plays those is simply the gameplay. The stories past two is useless. Like they're pretty garbage.
Yeah, the story is not the
But
main
the
reason I play
gameplay,
them. It's all the
right?
guns. Like
It's
there's
the
over a
gameplay.
thousand something unique guns, and all the different classes where you can do different combinations of perk setups and shit like that. But just feels like there's a lot of replayability with those games.
Yeah, and it's not like a giant open world game. Like they're kind of open restricted in a sense.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really play a lot of open world games though, to be honest. I guess the last one I played was Horizon Zero Dawn, I think.
Yeah, and even that game, like again, beautiful game. The story was really nice, but the side quests were just awful. Like pointless, no reason to do them. Didn't add anything to the game.
I remember there was one where I had to run across like probably 1,000 meters just to save someone in a tree.
Yep. Go 2,000 meters away to go save this person or to go put out this fire. I don't. And it's pointless. Like I have to travel like literally 5 minutes just to get there, and then I get nothing, and it doesn't add anything to the game. Doesn't make it more fun. It wasn't a fun fight. Like there wasn't a mini boss or some secret boss I stumbled upon. It was just garbage.
Definitely kind of grindy. I'm a lore person, so when I do learn about the lore and stuff, I like it. But that game did have a lot of fetch quest type stuff, so kind of mixed on that.
Yeah. I feel like games are too big when they make these open world games, and I feel like if they'd scale them down a bit or restrict them a bit, like a linear open world style, I feel like it would benefit them a lot more.
Yeah, I think linear is definitely the way to go. But also at the same time, the open world games, you said they feel kind of copy paste. I feel like that's like 90% of FPS games too, though. Like, and battle royales and pretty much anything. Like, I feel like most games nowadays are pretty much a different kind of COD, CS:GO, or like Battlefield clone or something like that.
Well, I guess those are kind of meaning like copy and paste in the sense of take same giant map, same pointless side quests, same kind of like character narrative, and ship it where they all just kind of feel like the Far Cry games, Assassin's Creed games. Like they all feel empty.
That's fair. I don't really play enough actually open world games to have a very solid opinion on it, but I see what you're saying. They all feel kind of similar. You need something unique to stand out. Like, I couldn't get into Skyrim or Fallout because they kind of felt that way to me too, where there was just so much shit to do, and I was kind of overwhelmed, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like open world games have also been falling off for me.
Yeah, I just need a good narrative to hold my attention.
Yeah, I need those narratives of the hentai games keep you entertained.
Yes, Anime School Simulator.
Oh damn, is that one out?
So, one last thing I want to talk about.
What's that?
I'm not really that interested in GTA 6 personally.
Really? What's that?
I've never really been into GTA games, to be honest. Like, I played 4 and 5 for the story, but I never actually really touched the multiplayer for them. When I saw the GTA 6 trailer, I was kind of just like, more the same, don't really care that much.
I think I'm pretty like I'm not like oh my god, can't wait, excited, but I'm definitely excited for it. Like I really enjoyed the story for 5 and 4, and I always like kind of the mayhem that GTA brings of just an open world where a bunch of people are in there just driving around and shooting each other and whatnot. I always find that fun.
From the multiplayer aspect or just in general?
Yeah, I like multiplayer, and also like I think the stories are also pretty fun.
See, like, I could just never get into the multiplayer. Like, I watch YouTubers who go in there and fuck around with their friends, and I know there's like RP servers where you can fuck around with people, but I just never got into that, and I find it kind of boring if I ever actually do start playing it. Like, I've played it before a couple times, but like after like 30 minutes, I get kind of bored.
Yeah, I think just grab like a few friends, and just always kind of like messed around, or you could do the missions, heists and stuff. Those are pretty fun for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get kind of overhyped, to be honest.
I mean, it's just gonna be filled with microtransactions of the shark cards from 5.
Shart
Where,
cards?
yeah, the shark cards or whatever they're called.
Shart?
Shart? Yeah, they shart you up. No, but the shark ones, I think that's what they're called.
See, I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest.
It's their in-game currency. Just pay money for it, and you can earn money.
Oh, then no doubt they will fucking fill it with that.
Oh yeah, dude, 5 was riddled with it. Like cars and equipment become so expensive that kind of force you to pay for them in a sense. I'm still interested. I'm excited. I think the story will be cool. They always usually take their time with those games.
I'll probably check it out eventually when it's on sale. I think that's when I got 5 when it was on sale.
We'll say Rockstar is one of the few kind of last standing AAA publishers that does take their time with their games.
It's so weird because I love the Red Dead games. I just can't get into GTA.
Maybe it's just the setting you like of Red Dead and the
Maybe. I don't know.
kind of cowboy type.
I want to be a cowboy, baby. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I like the story of 5 and messed around with it a little in multiplayer, but I just couldn't get into it. Honestly, haven't really played much of multiplayer in Red Dead either, but I think I probably played more in Red Dead 1 than 2.
I did not like the multiplayer in 1, but I think 2 was better. It was interesting. Like, I think it's kind of fun to run around, stumble upon some other gang, and then you guys have a shootout or gang up and tie people together and drag them around with horses. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I think I just like being a cowboy, baby.
It does not know.
I can be your cowboy. Dallas.
So you can see he's experiencing dehydration. Please stay tuned of this short
I think
message.
I'm gonna.
But yeah, I think gaming is going down. Hopefully, it doesn't become shittier.
If gaming keeps going down, I'll just keep playing old games I loved as a kid.
Yeah, literally. Hopefully, in 2024 some new games come out that are actually fully optimized and are fun on launch. But guess we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next Jedi game. Hopefully it'll improve on 2.
Hopefully.
Oh, there's a new Star Wars game coming out from Ubisoft, so
Yeah, like
hope it's
that's
kind of mixed, but we'll see.
I feel like it's just gonna be their same formula that they inject in all their open world games, where it's kind of all the same.
It's Wolverine, but that doesn't go on for a while. I don't
Yeah,
think.
25, I think.
Can only hope the best for the future of gaming.
Hopefully, because I feel like it's pretty shitty right now, so I don't know how much worse it can get.
Nuclear warfare.
25 kill streak?
No, I meant we're gonna be in World War III, so gaming will just stop. But on that note, let's close up shop today. Thank you for listening to the Wavecast, and we'll catch you next time with another topic. Peace out.
Peace.